People of Earth, your attention, please. People of Earth, your attention, please. This is the Vogon Constructor Fleet. Hello, how are you doing, everybody? Oh, we don't need your open Mac computer. No, we're not using the little cameras today. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Hope everything is going good. Let's see if we can get all this kind of a little bit more sorted out. A little bit more sorted out for you. A little bit bigger. I think that's a little bit bigger. Oh, there we go. Happy days. So I recorded a bit of this, kind of a session 0 before. But I canned that episode because I had a bunch of images that I was just going to use in my own personal little solo play, as opposed to images that I'd paid money for. If you know what I mean, you know. So instead, here I have a Traveller party. Yes, so this is going to be Traveller. I have been planning to play Traveller for about 9 million years, and I've run a couple of off sessions here and there. And this time we're going to introduce you to the crew. Going to tell you a bit about what I did in the last session 0. Show you a bit of my setup. And yeah, tell you a bit about the background. So I have the T4 Mark Miller Traveller setting books, which are set at the beginning of the Third Imperium. If you don't know about Traveller, it is kind of a seminal science fiction space game in the role-playing space. There are probably more before it. I'm pretty sure TSR did some. I'm sure other people did some as well. But this is like the one that got, and it's still around today and got the popularity. It's renowned for a couple of things. Character death during character creation, always fun. Mitigated nowadays by access to tools that allow you to auto-generate characters and get through that kind of hassle. Again, on the character generation thing, I mean, it was renowned for this kind of detailed, random generation of characters where you could get really wacky characters. Another thing in the original is that there was no character advancement. Once the character was built, it was built. Some advancement was added in later on. And with T4, advancement was added, and we'll be using kind of a hybrid of the T4 advancement rules, which basically say if you use a skill, you can tick it, and at the end of an adventure, you would be awarded a number of points for that adventure, and then you can choose from between your ticked skills which ones you wanted to use a point to try and level up, and you would test for skill, and if you rolled over the skill level, you improved the skill. Right, so skills kind of tend to go from 1 to 6. They can go higher, but it's, as you can imagine, to get over 6, you're going to have to get a 6, and then you're going to have to get a 4, and, that kind of thing, and it's a bit of a challenge. With that said, the other thing, because of this character generation system and it taking time, your characters are renowned for being older and kind of having a wealth of experience when they start. So if we look at the characters that we have a diplomat, third secretary Abai Bish. She has kind of some talking skills, some gambling skills, liaison, streetwise, kind of an all-round set of skills there. She can use a body pistol. Now that's another important thing in Traveller. All gun skills are considered level 0 skills. Same with vac suits and computers. So you can use computers without a modifier. If for other skills you get a -3 if you don't have the skill, but for computers, vac suits, and combat skills, you get a 0. No modifiers if you don't have the skill, which is handy. Jack of all trades allows you to use applicable skill. Anything that would be applicable at the level of Jack of all trades -1. And statistics in Traveller, once you're kind of away and doing stuff, are really only used to figure out when you die. Apart from social standing, which is important because it judges where you are in the grand scheme of things. We will almost certainly not require Psi, which is psychic powers. People are all Villani, which is for kind of core humanoid species of the Empire. And we'll talk a bit more about that later. We've got a diplomat. She's 46. Interestingly, in the info, she went to the Imperial University, or what is now called the Imperial University. Dedicated to a charitable cause. We should probably figure out what that charitable cause is. Have we got... Oh, a description probably will probably help us here. Yeah, let's just roll... Yeah. Description. Got nice dice as well. Doo-doo. Lightly fragrant. That's more of a description for like a fine meal than it is a description for a charity. Let's try something else. One day I'll get a real feeling for these tables. You'd have thought that I'd have one by now, but I don't. We could try motivations, locations, gods, creatures, legends. Maybe legends would give us something nice. Let's have a look. 74. 59. Monster Innocent. Okay, so it's a charity for the preservation of alien flora and fauna. Organization for the preservation of alien flora and fauna. And preservation of alien nature. She has a data wafer with an encryption code scribbled on it. We don't know what that's for. Her previous employer was the diplomatic corps of the Zunatsu Corporation, which is the corporation that was run by the Emperor Cleon III. Motivation, social unrest on Cilia. So Cilia is the capital of the Empire. The Empire was formed a couple of months ago. We were at the commencement ceremony in the crowd watching, and we decided now's a pretty good time to get make some money, as there is a reward for exploring planets of 10,000 credits per planet, kind of initially scouted. And as you can imagine, there are upset nobles and upset corporations on Cilia, so she's getting off planet. Now, relationships. She shared a secret past incident with Knight Dame Nasham Idimla. She is divorced from Marcia. So there was a past incident between them, and they've got divorced. And she is married to Uranim, who's a soldier. So that's an interesting set of relationships. Dame Nasham Adimla is a noble. Handy with a blade, brawling, got some engineering skills, got some piloting skills. Now, we got the piloting skills by spending 70,000 credits and basically training up. So she spent some time training. Navigation 2, which means she can get the spaceship to where it needs to be, and also on ground. So it's kind of used for both on ground navigation and space navigation. And gun combat, laser rifle, great weapon, kill many people. Really embarrassing to get hit by it. Things just end. So in Traveller, lasers don't go pew pew. They just slice off limbs from afar. You don't see anything. Just things fall off. Because the laser is invisible. She has a laser rifle on her, which is handy. Got some basic armor and a vac suit. She's got quite a bit of cash on hand. And background-wise, she again went to one of the Cillian universities. She wishes to eradicate piracy in the core sector. She has a high priority code for army procurement, which is handy. I think we'll probably be able to use that at some point. A former organization of the Domain Committee for Frontier Security, which is why she's kind of into killing pirates. And she's involved in the fire affair. We don't quite know what the fire affair is, but it's probably why she's getting out of town. Now, her life event was made a good friend and a long-term contact. Relationship. So for Abai, she ignores and ridicules. Mashar, she is secretly related to Mashar. Only Nasham knows. And she is also married to her. So we have a menage a trois going on where they're saving on staterooms. They are. Her personality is restless and determined. Now for Abai Bish, she is angry and a collector as a personality. So that's an interesting pairing, given she's a diplomat. Next we have Mashar Gushkirmu. All the names of this were generated using there's a sheet of kind of vowel pairs and whatnot that we use to make these names. So I've got one for Villani word generation that we'll be using a lot because we're going to have a lot of planets to name. She can drive the aircraft, which is handy. She can do electronics. She was a scout. I don't know if I mentioned that. So the scout service go out and they scout, as you would assume. She is good with guns, gun combat, shotguns. She can do ship and vehicle gunnery. Mechanics, medical. She can fly. Only at one, but she is the designated pilot. And vac suit. She's good with using the old vac suit. And she's got jack of all trades, which is very useful. Inventory rise. She's got the same kind of setup as Nasham, where she's got mesh and reflect armor, and she's got a shotgun. So she has a weapon of choice. And some low passages, which probably aren't going to come into play early on. She's kind of skint. She's also 46. And her background, Imperial University. She wishes to find the fabled Golden World. She has a planet quake predictor. So I used Stars Without Numbers for some of this, and I used the solo book for Cephas for other parts of this. And I used Mythic for the personality. Life events, reconnected with a childhood friend, so she's got a friend. She admires Abai. She ignores Nashim, and she is old friends with Ur. She is obstinate and curious. Stat-wise, she's holding up pretty well. And we can assume that, if we think that a human being or a Solomani, as they'd be in the traveller setting, lives to about 100 naturally if they've got kind of excellent, good health care, they've not been stressed all their lives, etc., etc., etc. Probably a bit longer, probably 110 years. Villani are pretty much the same. They have technology which is kind of their average medical and kind of healthcare and social care technology is kind of orders of magnitude better than the technology we have now. So we can presume that these characters have another kind of 30, 40 years of healthy life in them. And that's before getting on to things like analgesics for anti-aging therapies and cybernetics and genetic technologies and biological technologies. We count all their homeworlds as cilia. We might pick up some others later on. So is our last representative. He's 50. Bribery, electronics, gun combat. So he's got an automatic rifle. Gunnery. Again, another one that can shoot guns on ships if we had a gun on a spaceship. Steward, which is funny, so he can look after guests very well. Streetwise and vac suits. So you see kind of the characters get a real grab bag of skills. Again, automatic rifle. He has combat armor because he used to be in the army. Combat armor is very good. Financially, kind of skint, but he does have a pension. Wild. It's a super capitalist empire, but we do manage to retire with 50 years on the clock. So, and you get a pension. Clearly, inflation wasn't too bad. That's an annual pension. Info. So, although he was in the military, he went for Continental Military Academy. He wishes to become a sea starport warden somewhere. That's an objective, I suppose. It's a strange Zidani automatic pistol. So the Zidani had a interstellar empire. They were the first empire. Then they encountered this. They kind of had a caste system and got very. They stopped kind of progressing their technology. Very, very rigid. Then they encountered the Solomani, which are the humans. And the humans, of course, were still progressing in technology. And they kind of defeated the Empire, brought it to its knees. But the problem was that the Solomani Empire was an empire of like hundreds of planets, while the Zidani Empire was an empire of tens of thousands of planets. And the Solomani Empire wasn't able to maintain control over a region, and it all collapsed into chaos and infighting, leading to the Long Dark, which is a period where many worlds were cut off from their supply lines, so on and so forth. You know the drill. He was a member of the 22nd Admin Battalion. He was part of a peacekeeping operation on Kane, which is a planet near Cilia. Abai, he's secretly jealous of. Nisham and Marsha were both lifelong friends. His personality is wild but anxious. We'll see how all that comes into play. Now, last session we decided on where we were going to go and how we were going to get there. Now, where we are is here in Cilia, right? And we had kind of like three. We want to go to this sector and map it, right? Because you get 10,000 per star per sector mapped, and there's a lot of sectors over here to map. Now, we had kind of three possible routes. We were thinking about maybe coming in through the bottom, coming in this way. Alternatively, we were thinking maybe we'll go through the middle and come out kind of here in the middle. Or last but not least, we thought we'd come up through the top and pop in through the top and then kind of go down. We rolled for it, and we decided that we were going to come through this top route and head in here. So our plan is to jump from Cilia to Giku to Imarpa. These worlds also aren't really properly mapped, so we can do a bit of mapping as we go through these. Imarpa to Ispuma to Mukka to Kierla to Lordam, and then probably to, well, Ziki or Kamnaklia, and then come in here at 0211. And then I was thinking we'll probably go to 0311, 411, 311, jump down to here to 513, come back up this way, come down this way, come down here, jump over here, cover this area, jump to here, go here, jump across to here, then cover these two, jump back to here, go here, jump here, and then go up here, and then probably come around here, back down here, into Kamnat Kliar, and then back to Vasilian Federation. Now, if we find a planet that has a functioning starport, so C, A, B, or C, we can refuel. If we don't, we'll have to either find a gas giant or a water planet to get unrefined fuel and convert it into hydrogen to run the jump drives. Now, once we get to a world, we can scan kind of like our potential next hops for whether or not they have gas giants. And yeah, that'll be... So once we get to probably Zekil, because that then means we can scan 211, 212, 113. And yeah, I think we can get the planet, the main planet details, and then the gas giant details, and then jump and see what's in the rest of the system. So that's kind of our plan. Now, one thing that happened, we took off from Cilia, and there was a wreck, but I think before that, a little bit on the Vasilian Federation. So the Vasilian Federation has recently developed C level technology, so that's 12, because it uses a hexadecimal numbering system. So that means that they have jumps drives that can jump 2 hexes, which in turn means that we can travel a lot further out of our area. Before, we were limited to 1 jump, and so you can see, well, there is quite a few places in the core that we can get to with a jump of 1. It's a slow going, because the amount of time taken to refuel is the same regardless. Generally, if we can get to a system, quickly get to a B, or C class starport, we can kind of get on the move to the next system in a few days. It takes a week to jump, regardless of the distance of the jump. So if we've got a jump 2, jumping 2 hexes takes a week. If we just jump 1 hex, it still takes a week. So that's worth bearing in mind. And if there isn't a starport that we can get refined fuel, it takes about a week to refine the fuel on the ship. And basically we need either gas or water to do that. Anything else? Yeah, so the chap who's in charge is Cleon III. He is a kind of an oligarch, a billionaire, an ultra-billionaire, probably a trillionaire, who runs the most powerful corporation on Cilia. So his expansion theory is to basically influence governments on low-tech worlds, pump them up, set up a conflict, have a strong man take over, then kind of get rid of a strong man, replace him with some other kind of more compliant people, and then kind of absorb the world into the empire. He's a patient chap, big on analgesics. If worlds are completely not interested, they bypass them, which is also why the having the jump to technology is so useful, because we can easily bypass worlds that are just too hostile. Yeah, so that's kind of that. And we were all at the coronation. I mean, it was like a worldwide party, an empire-wide party, most likely. And afterwards, we kind of went back to our ship that we'd got, which is a scout ship. It is called, if we go to here, the Expedient Advance. And this is our ship. We've got a bunch of stuff in our locker. Med kits, cold weather, clothing, long-range communicators. We don't have any cargo. We do need to... the ship is mass-produced. We have monthly repayments on this. Where are the monthly repayments? So we owe... We need to pay... Laserfire? No, we don't need to pay Laserfire. Where's the scout ship? Here we go. So the scout ship is 29.43 million credits. Let's just stick this in here. Ship value 29.43 mega credits. And 40-ton fuel tank. Sufficient fuel for one jump. Yep. Double turret with its fire control installed. No weaponry in it. Yeah. 3 tons of cargo. Takes 9 months to build. It doesn't tell us what the repayment is. But if we go... Let's go to a... Here. /R... what did we say? 29.43... 123. Yeah. Divided by 50. Okay, and if we go /R, yeah, okay, 588. Please stop it. 588,600 divided by 12. 49,000. Okay. So really we need to get that down. So that'd be if it was a 50-year mortgage on the ship. So if we give it a 100-year mortgage, that'll half the amount that we're paying per month. I think? No, probably do more than that, won't it? If we go here, divide that by 100. And then we go /R, paste. Why did you do that? Because the copy and paste doesn't work. Of course it doesn't. 29. 29.4300 divided by 12. 24,525. Still quite a lot of money, eh? per month. We probably need to get back down to closer to for 10,000 range. So it's so if we say it's 100-year, 100-year mortgage. They probably paid half of it up front, so they need to pay. Let's just make it 12,300 a month. Maintenance cost for a scout is. It doesn't say, but I think it's about 3,000 credits a month. That's what we'll go with for now. Okay, so that's kind of like the cost side of things. 100-year mortgage, 12,000 credits a month. So I need to do 2 planets a month in order to keep the ship running, basically. Maintenance cost includes things like food and everything else, but of course they do need to find a spaceport where they can do maintenance. Otherwise we'll be going back and forth all the time. So that's going to be important, finding some subplanet where we can get maintenance done. The ship doesn't have any armor, and it doesn't have any guns, so running away is going to be our thing. We don't currently have any cargo. Right. So that's kind of a situation there. Now, what we did do when we got to the end of the last session was come across a wrecked cruiser. So there's a cruiser floating out there that we pick up. And we're going to have to go in and have a little investigation of it. Just go see what's going on. But I think that we will leave this session as just an introduction to the crew, a little bit of an introduction to the world, and yeah, looking at our beautiful spaceship. I love the fact that they just put a car in there. So that's what the air raft looks like, apparently. We've got a little grav car. And front entrance to a spaceship. Avionics. Oh, those are the old pictures. We don't want those anymore. We want to bring on the new pictures. Yoink. 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 And yoink. There we go. That's funny. Okay. So that's for crew. And that's for ship. And yeah, we've got a wreck out there to investigate. And the crew did decide that they were going to investigate. So we're going to be suiting up and seeing if we can get on board this cruiser. Or if it will shoot us to death. Or if it will explode. Or if it will do any of those many, many things. And I think, yeah, we'll wrap this one up at a half hour. But after this, we'll progress with the normal kind of hour-long sessions. And we'll run this alongside Delving Deeper. So, yeah, hope you're looking forward to seeing what this crew of very close individuals are going to do. Because 3 of them are currently married to each other. And one of them is the ex-wife of the other. So that's a time. It's going to be a whole mood, I think. So once our next episode starts, I hope you'll find it fun. And I kind of plan on getting it out kind of quickly. And I think I'll be doing Thursdays for Traveller and Tuesdays for Delving Deeper. And I was watching a VTuber called Hime Itsugi, I think it was. And they had good fun. It was very funny, and they kind of might make me think maybe I'll get back into the streaming thing. But we'll see what next year brings us, right? So until then, you have fun, and I will have fun, and keep solo role-playing, or group role-playing, or both. Why not both? I do both. You should do both. If you've got time and you want to. Otherwise, don't. You know, you do you. Anyway, with that, thank you very much, and goodbye.